Okay, am I audible? Okay, greetings. First I'd like to say hello to CC Jelly. Says evening all, love the Hoax Event checklist. Well, I've got news about that previous video that I once did, and the reason we're updating it, recompiling it possibly. We'll get a chance to look at it again. I'm gonna. Okay, greetings. Oh, that's my monitor. So yeah, hi CC Jelly. Also, previous to the live chat, Jackie Sharp made a couple of comments in the live chat. Maria Ellender, hi, how are you? Hope you're doing well. We will be starting properly in a minute. I'm going to play in with a video. In fact, I'll get that started now. So this video is from a YouTuber. The link I'm going to put right now in the live chat if you want to check out his channel. Bear with me a second. Video link. That should make sense to you all, hopefully, when it comes through. Alright, enjoy the playing video and I'll be back when it finishes.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I had a whole lot of people ask me to do my take on the Air Force plane, supposedly in Afghanistan, that all these people were running after and jumping on and falling off or whatnot. So, I'm going to give you my take on it. It's really, really simple. Okay, let's watch the video first. Okay guys, what you're looking at is a big float and some crisis actors. Kind of like this right here. You see this float in this parade? How the boat's just going down the road. It has a motorized vehicle underneath it and it's covered so you can't see it. Well, that's the same thing that's going on right here. But what we're going to do is slow the video down and zoom in on it. Now check this out right here. If you look at the very front of the plane, see that crowd of people? You don't see a wheel there. Where's the wheel at? You know how you see a crowd of people right there? They're blocking that first little motorized vehicle that's pulling the front of it. And see that guy waving his hands? He's a distraction, so you're not looking back there in the background. You see, now look in the middle of the plane, you don't see a lot of people at all. And then all of a sudden back here on the back, you see this big thing just sticking outside the plane. Everybody's sitting on it. Well, that's the other motorized vehicle pulling the back of it. And notice these guys do a little pushing scene to distract you from looking back there. Once again, let's look at it again. Look at that crowd of people around the first vehicle pulling that float. There's no wheel there. There should be a great big wheel right there, but look at them. They're crowded up right where you can't see it. And you can see it squared, whatever is pulling it. Nothing here in the middle at all because there's no weight there. Here's the rest of the weight. Here's the rear vehicle pulling it. And you notice they're sitting on it and crammed around it. I mean, it's really, really simple. One more time. Look at the front of the plane. Look at the square vehicle pulling it and them surrounding it. Now watch this guy run by and wave his hands up, smiling, right in front of the camera up close to totally distract you from that background of what's pulling that float. And the second distraction happens right here in front of the rear vehicle that's pulling this float. You have these couple guys pushing each other right here to distract you from that rear vehicle that's pulling that float. Not to mention this guy right here in the back, check him out, just casually on his cell phone. And also there's a lot of obvious stuff in here that you can tell that this thing is fake. I mean, for one, look, there's no engines in the engine casings. The windows of the plane. Look at the windows of the plane. It's just a aired up float. That's all it is. Just a big aired up float sitting on two motorized vehicles pulling it. You can think what you want to. I just proved it to you, and it is what it is. The truth hurts. Anyways, Thanks for watching, and God bless.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Okay, that was the video by Flat Out Truth. I'm sorry, Simple Truth. And the link I've put in the live chat. I would like to say hello to Nick GB, who's joined us, Susan Byrne, and I think I've already said hello to Maria Ellender. Yeah, that was some very odd footage that we saw of the people trying to jump on. Actually, we could go back to that video because there's a couple of points which I think are pretty notable. Where is that? Right. I will mute the guy. Yeah, I found it interesting that the Taliban just waited for all this BS-19 to start dying down before they decided to make a pain of themselves. Right, where were? I noticed that if you look at some of the close-up footage, it actually... Oh, that's annoying. Every time I... Sorry, we'll get there in a minute. Do you know what I actually think this is? I think he's absolutely right. They are using a float, some kind of float, but the majority of what we see on the screen is probably just a green screen. My guess would be that, I don't think you can see my pointer, but yeah, everything, well, it's probably a green or a blue screen, and everything in the background is completely, is all just CGI'd in. I expect most of those people running in the background aren't really there. And who in their right mind would seriously try and jump on a jumbo jet? And if you also look at the windows of that aeroplane, you can kind of just see they're black. It's just black paint, as the guy pointed out in that video. Susan Byrne says this footage was apparently from Syria around 2008. Wow, that goes back a way. It is very low quality images, which is all you ever get in these sorts of things. Susan, to be honest, I would not be in the least bit surprised to find out that that does go back to 2008. So, yeah, I did also wish to address a comment. It's not shown on the screen. I don't think it's shown up in the live chat, but about 20 minutes before, Jackie Sharp, if you're still with us, she said, I might hang out with you for a bit before I get insulted by your wrench-wielding, power-crazed fool. Most are nice, but one of them chased half a dozen of us away. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't like to think of any, obviously YouTube comment sections are a place where absolutely anyone can join in. I do encourage people to share their views, but I certainly don't want to, I don't want to hear that people are chasing off other commenters. I want everyone to express themselves freely. Obviously, we're all going to have different opinions. We're not all going to agree on everything. And I think if you are, I think we can all learn something from each other. And I actually think it's good when we have different opinions. Michelle from Oz, greetings. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're well, and hope everything down under's all right. You guys still in lockdown? Yes. So the purpose for tonight's live stream, a recap on the Hoax Event. Actually, I was going to look just one more part of this video. Notice they got their number in 1109. There was a bit where the guy's hand appears to sort of disappear. I think it's this bit. Hang on. Yeah, let's just watch this little bit. We're looking at, you can't see my pointer at the minute, but the guy sat on the edge. Of course, there is one person who's, just on his mobile phone towards the left of the screen, top left, and then the guy sat on the ledge towards the right of the screen. As you watch his hand, it's sort of just, I'm not sure what happens there. It kind of seems to just disappear. Let's watch that a little bit again. It glitches basically, and the only time you should ever get a glitch is when they're using green screen. Watch it one more time. Let's see. Obrek. There you go. Hands disappearing. Just very odd. Obrek points out 1109, 911. They get the numbers in one way or another. Apparently, 911 is a link to a biblical quote. Right. Bear with me, people. Right, I'm going to share my screen in a second. Obrek says it's a prop plane. Absolutely. I'm not sure if you watched our video that we played in with. Why is this playing? Hang on. It was... it's worth going back. There's a link in the live chat. You can watch it yourself. But a couple of things we're going to cover this evening. The main one is I had a video taken down. I will show you an email I received from... Why does this keep popping up? Can't get rid of it. Right, it's gone. I hope. Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, this was a flea mail I received from YouTube just the other day. I was actually kind of quite surprised that they didn't hit me with a strike, but we wanted to let you know that our team reviewed your content and we think that it violates our hate speech policy. We know that you may not have realised that this was a violation of our policies, so we're not applying a strike to your channel. Interesting. Where's my highlighter pen? Oh, I thought I had a highlighter pen, who knows? No, maybe not. Does that do anything? Right, so we're not applying a strike to your channel. However, we have removed the following content from YouTube. Live Zines, Hoax Event Checklist, edited. Now this is a video that I originally did. It was a live stream I did back in 2017, probably on my previous channel. And I must have edited it down, but for some reason, for the life of me, I cannot find a copy of it. I know I've got it somewhere. I always save all my live streams. But it did make me think, seeing as that was back in 2017, is there... What's changed? I mean, it wasn't an exhaustive list. There was perhaps a bit more stuff we could have brought up. So we're going to look at that in a minute. I do want to have a quick look in the live chat. Misha, you say it's insane in your neck of the woods. It's I believe I also heard that New Zealand have now gone into lockdown. I mean, I do feel sorry for you guys, but it seems to be... Oh, probably shouldn't have that up. It seems to be things go in patterns, because this time of the year, here in the UK, things are great. I mean, almost forgotten about. The mainstream media are no longer talking incessantly about people getting ill. Well, they might be, I don't watch it, but I'm aware that they're at least covering other subjects now. I do just want to... I don't want to go back and forth too much. I want to stay on one subject as best I can. But if I do a quick search for Taliban, and then we'll look in the news. Now, I'm sure it wouldn't surprise you to know that this part of the world, we get saturated with propaganda. Can you really seriously believe anything you hear about the Taliban? The story I heard, the reason they want the Taliban not to be in power. Now, again, as we say, for every hoax event, for every lie, you get an official conspiracy theory. And that's enough to catch some people up. But I believe it's always worth looking past that just to see what might be beyond it. A lot of people reckon that the United Nations, whatever, they have a massive trade in opium poppies in Afghanistan. And if the story goes, I mean, they're even open about this, when the Taliban came in, they destroyed all the opium poppies, the farms that were making them. And that's why they don't want the Taliban in power. Who knows how true that is? I did hear about the people falling off plane. Let's just see. We will go on to our hoax event recap, a checklist, how to find, so you know how to spot a hoax event. Falling. Apparently people were witness to fall off that plane that we saw. Stowaways fall to their death from plane as hundreds tried to jump. Complete rubbish. It's got well, here is the Scum newspaper. Misha, you say you've got curfews, army, riot police with rubber bullets. That is absolutely insane. I mean, when I think back to when we were in lockdown here in the UK, and you guys were pretty much... In fact, I remember you joined me on an Open Lines Me show, and you were telling me about how much freedom you guys all had, and I remember thinking how lucky you were and how it's all gone 360. But it sounds like Australia is a lot more restricted than we ever were. I mean, I don't ever remember seeing the army about. Obrecht makes the point 11.9. You had jumpers. Across 9/11, and then on plane 11.09 there were people again falling. From what I remember, the footage I saw was just little specks in the air. I mean, here, for example, the Scum newspaper showed some tiny little dot falling off the back of an aeroplane, and we're supposed to buy that. Right, Susan Byrne makes a point, says, Michelle, your part of the world is the prototype for world agenda, sadly. Interesting point. There is a school in the United States of America. I'm sure we're aware of, I don't know how dangerous it is to say the words of the... I mean, think what you go fishing with, a hook, and then think what's on the beach, sand. Put those two words together. Basically, if you ran your fishing hook through the sand and made it all sandy, it would be sandy hook. Yeah, you got it. Anyway, I always remember thinking, and there's a video up that I put up on 153 News from a YouTuber that made it, not my work, but it said they based that sandy fishing hook on the event that happened in Dunblane in the United Kingdom. However, by all accounts, in Australia, like about a year or so before, there was an equally large or an almost identical event taking place there. So yeah, Susan, I totally agree. I believe Australia does seem to be the place where they will practice. You know, it is a prototype. I think you summed that up perfectly. Right, let's just read what the Scum newspaper was saying. Do you think they'll show people... Oh, here we go. And I bet they start this video with warning. Some viewers may find it disturbing or some rubbish like that. Horror footage appears to show, quite an important word there, appears to show stowaways falling to death after climbing to outside of plane as thousands flee the Taliban. I mean, this is This is about as deep propaganda as I think you can get. We'll just watch this bit of footage. I mean, look at those people. I bet you don't see all these people in... Well, let's watch the video, see what it shows us. Yeah, told you. Did not I not say contains scenes some viewers may find distressing? Yeah, contains scenes some viewers may find very suspiciously fake. So let's have a look. Oh, press the wrong button now. Okay, what are we going to see?
The government is announcing today.
Oh, bear with us. Oh, what was that? I want to see that. This is... Well, that's a different plane for a start. That's a passenger plane, not the one we saw with 1109 on it. I mean, how ridiculous. Okay.
Up to 20,000 refugees will be allowed to settle in the UK in the coming years.
Now, worth pointing out, let's just go back a minute. You see all these people hiding, ducking, trying to escape the gunman. Isn't it interesting how the cameraman doesn't flinch? He doesn't even bother moving. Just stands there and gets all these pictures. Just like this. Why wasn't the cameraman even bothered about jumping on the plane? And this guy that runs past waving his arms with a big smile on his face. It's about as fake as you can get. Moron. We've seen this. The reason I'm playing it back. Oh, this is that guy's hand. This is what I meant. That the guy's hand disappears into the wall, into the green screen probably. Where's the person falling off then? Do you really think they would take off? Would they let the plane take off if they knew they had all these hundreds of people clinging onto the fuselage or whatever they call it? Well, that's a different aeroplane, isn't it? Is that the same one? And what is that falling out of the sky? Could be anything. I bet it glitches before it hits the ground. Oh. Okay. And another one. Could be anything. That's meant to be someone's legs. Absolute madness. Well... Yeah, it's always still footage. This guy at the back seems to just be standing on someone's shoulders by the look of it, casual as you like.
People do you think are on your jet? 800 people on your jet? Holy cow.
Okay, that is the end of the video. We will move on from that. Oh, what's this guy?
Thank you. Thank you for...
I don't know what the story is about, so I'm not going to make fun of anything. Horror footage, yeah. They've skipped to the next video, so to be honest, it could be anything. If anyone knows what that is a reference to, then please let us know. Right, have a quick look at the live chat. CC Jelly, it's hate speech to say that people didn't die. I'm not sure if I already read that one, but you're absolutely right. And Susan said it won't be long till it's our turn. As much as I believe you are probably absolutely right on that, I'm really hoping it won't be, but I'm hoping that will be the end of it now. We go back to just hearing about Taliban and ISIS and fake terror attacks and climate change. You know, that would be fine with me. But yeah, you're probably right. We will get... I mean, it seems to me like they just want you to be afraid of something. They either want you to be afraid of putting on a mask, not putting on a mask, taking your injection, not taking your injection. They want you afraid of climate change. They want you afraid of the Taliban. So long as you're living in fear, they're happy. That's all they want. So my message to everyone is don't, not worth living in fear. Absolutely not. Right, Obrecht says men just leaving families behind apparently. Yeah, exactly. Was it all men on that video? I believe it was. What appears to be. I mean, did they not bother to check this out before we go and release a news article? Should we actually clarify whether that was actually human beings falling off the back of a plane? I mean, look at those windows. Nicely painted on. I mean, that is clearly two separate That's not the same aeroplane, is it? I don't know. Who knows? But as I think it was Susan pointed out, or someone pointed out earlier, yeah, Susan, that footage comes from 2018. So, 2008, which I wouldn't be at all surprised about. More still footage. Okay, so going back to, in fact, we will, I want to recompile our Hoax Event checklist this evening. Actually, I am tempted just to look at one final story. Like I said, I don't want to be talking too much these days about the summer flu or whatever, but how predictable was this? Whenever you get high-profile anti-vaxxers, not too sexy for COVID, Right Said Fred singer and anti-vaxxer Richard Fairbrass tests positive, but says he still won't get jabbed. So I just, I thought this was again propaganda. Right Said Fred frontman and anti-vaxxer Richard Fairbrass has contracted C-19, almost as if that will teach him for daring to question the jab. 67-year-old fell, but let's read on. The 67-year-old fell ill last Saturday and was taken by ambulance to Park Hospital. How ill do you think he was? Needing oxygen. Wow. Now I know, obviously, if you it's not out of the question that if you're struggling to breathe, you would have an ambulance. Fair enough. I think you'd be in and out the same night, though. Once they put you on one of those nebulizing, breathing things, whatever, you'll be back home. No, after spending 4 nights under the watchful eye of doctors, well, he is nearly 70, so he is now recovering at home. His battle comes 6 months after he branded the vaccine a scam. Who knows what it is? But yeah, do you really believe that attention seekers like these people wouldn't take part in any fake event they're told? What did Fairbrass say? I've had a bit of COVID. It wasn't too bad. I was a little bit breathless. And you went into hospital for 4 nights being a little bit breathless. What is that all about? But he does full credit to the NHS. They were non-judgmental and very open to how you wanted to be treated. Yeah, right. And my treatment was just keeping my oxygen levels up for a week. How many hospitals really give you the option of what treatment you're going to get? I mean, fortunately, I've not ever had to stay in overnight in hospital. And I really hope that continues that way. Oh, here we go, another complete rubbish story. What do you think the rest of that headline's going to be? Unvaccinated Florida single mother only days away from, what do you think? From a wonderful life? From being proved correct? From death, I'm going to say. But we'll click that button in a minute. CC Jelly says, we cannot trust anyone anymore. Absolutely right. They are already here. Greetings. Thanks for joining. You say you knew one of his guitar players. Interesting. Is it one of the 3... As far as I know, Right Said Fred, it was 3 men, wasn't it? Were they all brothers? I'm not 100% sure on that. But despite contracting the killer bug, bear in mind he was only in hospital for 4 nights. So yeah, by the way, they are already here. Do you have any juicy gossip to give us about the Right Said Fred guitarist? Was he by any chance gay? That is just my question. Right. apparently, this is according to Right Said Fred, Richard Fairbrass. The vaccine is only for experimental use. It's on trial until 2023. There is no long-term data on it. Anyone who takes it is foolish. Come 2023, get those numbers in, and everything is fine. I'll do it then. I'm absolutely not going to have one now. Well, fair enough, if that's his point of view on it. No matter what happens, personally, I am trusting in our God to look after me. I believe my God-given immune system is strong enough to keep me safe. Right, let's just go back. Okay, Richard sparked controversy in February with his comments on the vax, in which he admitted turning down the jab in fear it wasn't kosher. Part of me thinks, is it just a placebo that they're selling off? But anyway, who knows what's going on? Yeah, they literally, they may have made some pretty vile substance, but it's half of those vials, whatever they're called, just full of tap water. It kind of wouldn't surprise me, actually. They're already here, says, nah, he used to be in a band called Skin. Mike Gray, fair enough. Thank you for the information. Was he a nice guy? Arrogant? Or, I don't know. As it tells us, Right Said Fred sold 30 million albums. Where did it say that? Yeah, here we go. The 90s star and his brother Fred, who sold over 30 million records during a career spanning 3 decades, also attended an anti-lockdown protest in Trafalgar Square last September and supported anti-mask campaigners via the duo's official Twitter account. Trafalgar Square, was that the one where David Icke attended? And according to a blog I read, which I did publicise a couple of weeks back, made people do something where they went under an arch. I'm not sure. I would be interested if anyone has any info on if anyone else attended that September, the September march in Trafalgar Square. Right, anyway, does anyone wish to guess what the headline here is? Unvaccinated Florida single mother only days away from what? You will have to excuse me for just 10 seconds, literally, while that thing loads up. I just got to mute my microphone for 1 second. Okay, excuse me for that. I am back. Let's see. What was that headline? Unvaccinated Florida mother only days away from receiving American citizenship. Ah, okay. And she pegged out and she didn't make it. Now, are they suggesting... Let's see, let's read it. What is the betting? As we are going to go back to the recapping on the Hoax Event checklist very soon. They're already here suggests that it was going to be lottery win. Maria says death from the crony. Actually, it's even more heartbreaking than either of them. She was just days away from American citizenship and she died of it, all because she wasn't vaccinated. Let's see, I've never read this story, I just come across it completely by chance. Will it suggest that she might have had either any other underlying health conditions? Was there more to the story than simply she didn't have a shot? Right, just check the audio is back. It's working. Right, Cindy Dawkins, 50, was unvaccinated. Like, that's the most important part of the story. She died on August the 7th, only 2 days after being hospitalised. She went into hospital. Well, there you go. I don't know if any of you caught my short video that I made. Well, actually, we covered it in the live stream the other week about the guy that went into hospital and, according to his sister, pumped full of every drug they had going in the hospital. I'm not surprised the guy died. I mean, how are you going to survive that? They overdosed the guy. And as I said, we need to see the toxicology report on these people. No, they didn't have a vaccine, that's why they died. That's all they're going to tell you. Right, the two eldest children, Trey 20 and Jenny Burrows 24, are working to keep the family together in the wake of their mother's death. What do you reckon? Go fraud me. Go fraud me account. Let's see. Florida is currently recording more than 20,000 new cases every day, the most of any state. Let me guess, might that be because they're testing more than any other state? Stop getting tested and they can't play this rubbish on you. Oh, there's more about the about the airport in Afghanistan. Right, anyway, why start the story like this? An unvaccinated single mother in Florida has died. Yep, okay, one person's died, by the way. People die every single day that haven't had particular medical treatments. I mean, why doesn't it say a woman that never received treatment for chlamydia has died in Florida? I mean, maybe she did, who knows, but I mean, you wouldn't, would you? It's like someone dying in a car crash, perfectly healthy, and they say, I don't know, John Doe, who died without receiving cancer treatment. Okay, well, why are they mentioning cancer treatment? Did he have cancer? No, we just thought we would say he never had treatment for cancer. Cindy Dawkins of Boynton Beach passed away August the 7th, just 2 days after being admitted to hospital. Do you know what? I would be tempted to say maybe this story isn't complete rubbish, because I know people that go into hospital and boom, they're dead within days. Dawkins, who was born in the Bahamas, was set to finalise paperwork. I mean, this is probably that, but it's a typical story. Someone goes into hospital, within a day or two, they're dead. Yeah, nothing, no surprise there. Whereas if they just stayed at home, rested, looked after themselves, they probably would have been absolutely fine. I've got no problem saying that, because I believe that is absolutely the truth. She leaves behind 4 children. Facebook. What a wonderful mother. I am curious if... Right, many Americans are hesitant. Why are they going on about this? Due to concerns over side effects, whether false or not, and misinformation about them spread on social media. No, all the misinformation comes from the mainstream media, actually. I think she wasn't sure about the vaccine. We followed the rules and kept our masks on, Trey. Well, there you go. They were wearing masks. Maybe that's why she didn't make it. Right, now seeing how it happened and quickly, it definitely changed our perspective. Getting a vaccine helps more than any damage it could do. Are you really sure about that? Well, I'm not. Well, anyway, I want to know if there was any more. If they say anything stupid, right? Even when we were younger, our mum would tell us that we were brothers and sisters. We had to look after each other. Right now, we're in survival mode. We're trying to stay on top of everything. Janie Rosenberg Yoshida, a family friend, has started a GoFundMe for the children. Yeah, of course they have. Why wouldn't they? Someone dies, then everyone's got to donate money for you. Right, how much do you think it's for? And let's not forget that these stories are all just publicity for these GoFundMes. That's all they are. How much are they raising for this family? Right, they want 40 grand. Well, I don't know what a funeral costs, but I think it's no surprise there. Okay. Right. Oh, I've just seen a story. I'm not going to get too sidetracked, but I'm seeing stories about cradling new babies, and what's the bet in this? They're dolls. But anyway, we're not going there. Right. Yoshida told Good Morning America that she met the family. All right, hang on. I just want to see if they give anything away. She worked 2 jobs, made sure her kids were clothed, while at one point even having to live in hotels just to keep from being homeless. She taught a strong work ethic. Well, that's a bit... Anyway, it's like me saying, oh, I had to live in a house, otherwise I would have been homeless. Well, yeah, big deal. Right, and now cruel, relentless COVID-19... Oh, what's my cat doing? Being a pest, sorry. Cruel, relentless COVID-19 has heartbreakingly, quickly and unapologetically taken another life, leaving behind 4 children. Yeah, like I said, I would be very interested to see this person's toxicology report if they went in the hospital. Okay, getting their numbers in as well. Always, Cindy is one of nearly 42,000 Floridians that have died. Around 38% of the state remains unvaccinated, though vaccine demand in the state, blah blah. Oh, right. I bet they've got their dual numbers. In fact, we're going to look at our hoax event checklist in a minute and see how this story fits. I am curious what some of the comments say, because yeah, here we go. Brilliant. Obese woman ignores medical advice and dies from a preventable illness. Why is this a tragedy? I blame the government not making a huge deal about losing weight like they emphasised about wearing masks. Okay. Sorry, her choice. This is so sad. No story on this guy. A 27-year-old man from Stowmarket who made everyone happy and is always smiling has tragically died just 3 weeks after having the... Wow, okay. Fair enough. Just 3 weeks after having the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, with his family devastated. And they're pointing out that the Mail on Daily Mail aren't covering that story. Okay, people and family around them just drop their guard because they are vaccinated and fail to be as cautious. Okay, that's someone going on about caution. Whatever. Right, I will have a quick look at the live chat. Mudlark digging up the Thames. Greetings and welcome to the live chat. Maria Ellender. I believe I've already said hello to you. Random Games. Greetings. Thanks for joining us. And thanks for messaging me on Twitter earlier. I know if you don't, I'm not going to bring up some that you maybe want to keep quiet, but yeah, that was quite a bizarre comment. I mean, very strange goings on. It looks like you're having to deal with. You have my sympathy. Let's see. They're already here, says they have some long arms. Are we talking about this woman, I'm guessing? Let's see. I'm sure she has got long arms. Oh, this kid. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if... I'm assuming that's a boy. Who knows? Maria says, I organised my sister's funeral last year, £1,500. Yeah, and as Mudlight says, I'm also sorry to hear about your loss. So I'm just catching up. £600 went towards some ministers talking rubbish for 20 minutes. Yeah, and they want this family to have £40,000. But because she hadn't had her jab, though, I don't think people are going to be particularly sympathetic to this woman. They would say, oh, it is crazy at the minute. I mean, the truth is, people can go in hospital with an ingrown toenail and they don't make it. And all the hospital has to do is say COVID. Okay, yep, get out of jail free card. It's I didn't want to get dragged down into this. Oh, someone just made a noise. Hang on. Okay, hoax event checklist. My video was removed by YouTube. Goes back to 2017. This particular video. So it could be we are due to have a look at it again. Right. I'm also interested to know if anyone thinks that some of this needs updating. The first point on the 2017 hoax event checklist was, ISIS claims responsibility. Now, is that still relevant? Do we hear anything from ISIS anymore? Or are they hiding away? Oh, hang on. Bear with me, people. I don't know if any of you have seen the moon this evening. It's a beautiful, glowing, sort of yellowy colour. It looks amazing, actually. Anyway, not to get sidetracked. Because, right, this list that we have, it is not like... it's not if you see any of these, then it's automatically a hoax event. Because, I mean, even the mainstream media occasionally report genuine stories, but it's always got to follow their agenda. But just because the mainstream media report it doesn't automatically make it a hoax. However, if you see any of these particular ingredients coming up, then you can be pretty much sure it's a hoax. For example, ISIS claiming responsibility. That for me is a big kind of giveaway, I think. Random's also spotted this evening's moon. Doesn't it look crazy? Right, let's see. Random games. So they court in Canada. So I don't want to get too sidetracked. We will go back to the hoax event checklist in a minute. Let's see. I apologise if I've missed anyone's comments. I do like to keep up with them. Mudlark says, it's getting a bit, what's the word, morbid. Wants to be cremated. Do you know what I would like? I'm not sure I want to be cremated, but I would like to be buried, but I would like to be in one of those biodegradable boxes that just break down very quickly, because I don't think I like the idea of just being stuck in a wooden box for, eternity. But I mean, obviously, even the coffins break down eventually. Yeah, like I said, it's very morbid. But if that's what you guys wish to talk about in the comments section, you carry on. They're already here. I'm not going... Yep, I'll not be going to any more funerals. Make your peace before. Fair enough. Do you know, I've only ever actually been to one funeral in my entire life. And that isn't to say I don't know people that's died. It's just... I mean, the person whose funeral I went to wasn't actually a member of my family either. I have missed funerals that after I kind of thought maybe I should have gone. But a funeral isn't for the dead, it's for the living, isn't it, really? It's for the living to celebrate or to acknowledge, to celebrate the life of the person who's been buried. And, yeah... it is obviously, respectful to turn up to people's funeral. Anyway, I am getting sidetracked. Mudlark says, I don't think anyone will care when I'm dead. Mudlark, I'm sure that is not true. I barely know you, but, I only know you from the comments you've left on YouTube, but, you make a difference to me. We don't really know how much of a difference we make to anyone in life, so I don't think that's a pretty good thing to say. Linda Mack, greetings, welcome. ISIS is chilling at Kabul airport, apparently. Right, ISIS and Taliban, are they the same thing? I am not massively sure. If we go back to... We'll look at a story about the Taliban. If I search ISIS, actually... I'm sure they must come up in the news. ISIS threat. Rescue planes drop flares and make nosedive landing amid fears of attack. This was 3 hours ago. Britain, who fought against ISIS, warns they are as much of a threat today as they were before. Well, where have they been for the last 2 years? They haven't done anything. But anyway, this isn't particularly about... Do you know, I mentioned in the past PK, the YouTuber, I believe he's still on YouTube, he's got a few channels left. he made a really interesting video once, and he said he always assumed that while he knew terror attacks in his own country were fake, he always assumed everything going on in places like Afghanistan, Iraq and everything were legit. But he found a story which, well, he basically exposed an explosion. I'd be really interested to find it actually, but I think it could take me a long time. So, ISIS and Taliban, are they one and the same? Military evacuation planes from Afghanistan are dropping flares and carrying out nosedive landings. Why would they do that? Amid fears terror groups may launch an aerial attack. Should we listen to this anti-Taliban resistance person? Right, rescue aircrafts are conducting the emergency procedure as thousands of Afghans continue to flee the Taliban via Kabul airport. Well, thanks for just letting everyone know where they are. Right, dramatic pictures have emerged of US warplanes taking part in a rapid descent from the sky and landing suddenly on the airstrip. What, could that be CGI by any chance? A French military plane is also seen dropping half a dozen red flares, which is designed to disable heat sensing technology stolen by ISIS. Rubbish. ISIS managed to steal your heat sensing technology and figure out how to use it. Yeah, right. No chance. BS. Complete BS. The Taliban has seized control of surrounding airports. Hang on, we were talking about ISIS a minute ago. Right, the Taliban are not understood to be planning an attack of any of the rescue planes, but US officials fear ISIS militants could take advantage of the unfolding humanitarian crisis. So they are different groups. The US Embassy has issued a security warning and described the threat from ISIS as significant. Why wasn't it significant when we had COVID, like when the news were only talking about BS19, hey? Like any plane could take off with all these people on the runway. Absolutely insane. If you are just joining us this evening, then you will have missed the video we played in with. I might play out with it as well. It was a video called Simple Deceit by the YouTuber Flat Out Truth, Terry R. Eacher. I did leave a link, and I will put a link in the description. Just showed some interesting stuff about the image we saw. Right, where are we? So, going back to the hoax event. Is it still relevant to say anytime you see the words ISIS claim responsibility, you can automatically rule it out as being a hoax? Tick. I think we're going to keep that one. Oh, what happened there? Why can't I write anything? Tick. Although, okay, we'll carry on with that. The second one. If any of you think it needs updating, then let me know. Right, anytime, and the reason I'm recapping this is because of the original video that I had up on YouTube was taken down, but I didn't receive a strike. Weirdly, they thought I was committing hate crime accidentally, which is incredibly easy to do. Actually, all you've got to do is refer to a transgender as the wrong pronoun, and that is hate crime. Right, anytime a story receives over-the-top coverage on the news, okay? Again, all this stuff about Taliban. Right, okay, what else is in the news? Let's see. I wouldn't say these people... Actually, we will come back to that one. If we look at... Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna... let's find what is in the world news. What is getting over-the-top coverage? Well, storms, I mean, can they be faked? Probably not. Let's see. Britain to push for sanctions on Taliban. See, this Taliban stuff is getting over the top coverage. Let's see. Take the story we had the other week about the gentleman. If I go to my channel, we'll have a look. Right, bear with me, people. Okay. I'm going to have to start shutting down some tabs or else my channel starts slowing down. Where was it? We did cover this. It was either last week or the week before. Oops. Your videos, that's what we want. I just want to find the name of this guy, and it's an example of over-the-top coverage. Here we are. This one, for example. Right, and this is one of those typical... I don't know if you want to hear me. You probably watched it as I did preview this last week. I just want to find the name of the guy. John Ayers, a construction expert from Southport. Someone made a point that he actually was more than just a construction expert, like he was on TV or something. So what was his name? John Ayers. One person dies in hospital, remember? People die in hospital all the time. So how much coverage would one person dying in hospital get? Would every single... Here we are. If they'd had the vaccine, at least one of them would be here today. The Daily Mail, the Daily Telegraph, the Lad Bible, the Border Mail. All these different news outlets cover this one person dying. Why? How? I mean, are they all just... Here we go. Healthy dad dies after rejecting the jab. Wishing he'd listened to twin sister. John Ayers, that's the same one. Here we are. Sky are covering it, the Mirror are covering it, the Daily Express have covered it, the Independent, Yahoo News. One person dying and every single news outlet covers it. So yeah, I'm saying anytime you see over-the-top news coverage, you can be sure it's a load of BS. Right, let's go back to the live chat a minute. Okay. Right. Bear with me, I'm just keeping up. Right, Random said a court in Canada says BS is a hoax and they're opening their borders in September. No mandatory vax, no more masks, no lockdown for Canada. Yes, I believe I've seen the very video you're talking about. It was on... was it on D-Live or something? Or it was on another network. I do remember seeing something which... Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Random says we can talk about what she tweeted me about earlier. That's great. After we've done our recap on the Hoax Event checklist. Yeah, we will, because it's very bizarre stuff that you're having to put up with on Twitter. Johnny Roadster, greetings and thanks for joining us. I hope you're still with us. Mudlark says, I think a lot of people just go to funerals to get free food and drink. A little pessimistic, would know, is that the right word? But yeah, you could be right, Mudlark. Maria says, all terrorist groups are CIA operatives. Exactly correct. Which, for example, because how can, when we look at this, I don't know if I've still got the story up. Was it on here? Look at the rubbish they have to come up with. A French military plane is also seen dropping, right, designed to disable heat sensing technology stolen by ISIS fighters. Because if they're saying ISIS has got heat sensing technology, well, how on earth did they get this? Aren't these people living in caves? Aren't they kind of just basically just like your masses that have come together. But supposedly they can work out how to use heat sensing technology. So I completely agree with you, Maria. CIA operatives, no doubt about it. There's also a well-known story. Well, if I put in the word, let's just do a search. I believe it was ISIS Toyota, and how the pickup truck became a terrorist favourite. I'm sure there was, where was it? Maybe they've removed it now, but there was a thing pointing out it was this, the Taliban rolls into town, and people were saying, here we go. And they all had brand spanking new Toyotas, and they were like, so what, a Toyota providing, are they providing ISIS with cars now or something? But it turns out an investigation was recently launched, because basically they didn't want people to focus on that. They didn't want people to think, how did they manage to get all these Toyotas? They just wanted people to see all men in black outfits with wielding guns, and they didn't want you to look at the rest of it. But people did, and they launched an investigation to try and explain it. What do you think they did? Stolen, maybe? The Treasury were asking Toyota why so many of their pickup trucks and SUVs were being driven around by ISIS in their propaganda videos. No, your propaganda videos. It appears, however, that the Treasury were asking the wrong party. Instead of Toyota, the inquiry should have started closer to home, the US State Department. What? Just last year it was reported that the US State Department had been sending in fleets of specifically Toyota-branded trucks into Syria, who they claimed was the Free Syrian Army. US Foundation funded public radio. This one Toyota pickup truck is on top of the shopping list. So far the UK has sent around £8 million of non-lethal aid. What is non-lethal aid? Surely any aid that is lethal isn't particularly helpful. So basically the UK sent a load of 4x4s, and the Taliban or ISIS came in and stole them. That is how it worked out. So the mystery of how hundreds of identical brand new ISIS-owned Toyota trucks made it to Syria is solved. Not only has the US and British government admitted in the past to supplying them, their military forces and intelligence agencies ply the borders of Turkey, Jordan, and even Iraq, where these fleets of trucks must surely be passed on their way to Syria, even if other regional actors supplied them. What? Even if other regional actors supplied them. While previous admissions to supplying the vehicles implicates the West directly, nothing resembles interdiction operations have been set up along any of these borders, implicate the West as complicit, etc., etc. Anyway, just going back to it, I agree. They've also now got heat sensing equipment, because they have to make ISIS not only sound crazy and wild and like a bunch of savages living in caves, they also want you to think they're sophisticated enough that they could still be a threat. Anyway, let's go back. Mudlight says, I saw a Mag Bit of Truth video on BitChute exposing PK as an actor. You know, that's really interesting because, yeah, PK is an actor. He's always been open to that he played. He's like an extra. And Michelle, I'm not sure if you've got any thoughts on this. I remember as a kid, we always thought everyone in Australia were actors. It seemed like every Australian person always had been in films or something. Also, there always seemed to be a very small number of actors. Like, if ever you watched Prisoner Cell Block H, you would see the whole cast of Neighbours. And then if you watched Neighbours, you'd see the whole cast of Home and Away. Like they were quite thin on the ground, but then, hey-ho. Right, so not only does it receive over-the-top coverage, Right. So, for example, this one's quite specific. Victims of any event are named within 24 hours. What was that video we were watching? How long did it take them to mention John Ayres? In fact, I'm not sure when he did die, but what we were specifically referring to, if we go back and look at... Hang on, I'm sure there was someone in a very recent... in the Taliban thing where the people were falling off of aeroplanes, they claimed one of them was a footballer. But if I put in Safi Russo... Now, this may have been why my video got taken down quite eventually, because I mentioned people like this. But this person, they announced her death. They announced her involvement in the MEN Arena attack within literally hours. I think by the next morning, within 24 hours, they had told us. So yeah, basically, anytime you hear, for example, what was that shooting that took place just the other week? Do you remember it? I'm trying to remember where it took place. These things don't stick in my mind very well. But yeah, where was the shooting? Can anyone remember? Just the other week. Right, Michelle from Oz says she remembers Mujahideen. If you wish to elaborate on that, because it's not that familiar. I've got people... Right, they're already here. If a funeral was a celebration, that'd be cool, but it rarely is. And yes, it would be nice to be not contained in a box when we're put into the ground. Random Game says the Afghanistan situation is a distraction. Yes, I don't disagree with you on that, and I also think it's just designed to make us afraid as well. Mudlight says, I just think it's suspicious why anyone but people who were close to the deceased would attend their funeral. Okay, fair enough. Like I said, I've only ever been to one funeral in my entire life. Bob Mule. Greetings, Bob Mule. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the live stream. It says, remember the guy from the US who recognised his truck in Syria? No, I don't actually. Oh, Mudlight says, I've seen a London black cab in Kosovo. Now, funny you mentioned that. I remember a story about a black cab driver that went out to Kosovo or maybe Syria, Afghanistan, and he was... It's just another story I remember, but I might well have made a video on it. Susan says, you are so right, Bobby, the world is upside down. And Michelle says, it's true, I'm not real. Oh, right, okay. Who says you're not real, Michelle? No, what I meant by everyone in Australia is an actor is everyone... I'm thinking back to when I used to watch a lot of Australian soaps, and it seemed that everyone in Australia had worked as an actor. They all had like a second... Like PK, for example, he's a part-time actor, or he's an extra. I'm not suggesting that everyone you hear about in Australia isn't a real person, as we've got Misha with us this evening. I don't know if anyone else tuning in is also from Australia, but... right. Okay, let's catch up with the live chat. Mudlight says, lots of vehicles stolen in the UK end up in Africa via France. Okay. Huh. Mudlark, if, yeah, that sounds interesting about taking a picture of a black cab in Kosovo. I just noticed you do not have a wrench. If you've got any links you wish to send us, same goes for anyone else that would like a wrench. Mudlight says, the media can claim that anyone who ever played five-a-side football at school was a footballer. Yeah, of course they can. Phil Wright, Maria Ellender, thank you for reminding me. Plymouth, of course it was. Johnny Roadstar, Wright said Fred getting lined up for early death, for sure. Could be, maybe. You could well be right on that one. And Maria says terror threat level has been raised in the UK. Is that a recent thing, Maria? Or I will have a look at the Plymouth story. Thanks for reminding me. My head went blank. Yeah, I mean, how quickly did they release the names of the people involved in that? Let's see. Back in the day, they mentioned. This is Michel says they mentioned Mujahideen in the same way as ISIS and Teletubbies now, but they were fighting the Russians. Gotcha. And of course, I don't remember the Vietnam War, but then wasn't Viet Cong also like no, wasn't that kind of a bogeyman, you know, the Viet Cong? I mean, I would be tempted to say, yeah, I'm tempted to say the Nazis, but I mean, the Nazis perhaps were a real political party, but at the time they were seen as legit, just like yeah, I remember ISIS. When I originally first started hearing about ISIS, they mentioned them as being, yeah, a legitimate political party that overthrew. I believe they overthrew some part of. Well, I guess it was Afghanistan. I can't remember now. Right, Plymouth attack. Yeah, for example, they named the shooter. I think they gave us everything you need to know about. Oh, they've got a Wikipedia page. Brilliant. Let's see how much they tell us. Right, so here we are, barely a couple of weeks later, and everything is laid out on Wikipedia for you. It says a 22-year-old. Look out for a later part anyway. 22-year-old Jack Davison killed 5 people. Perpetrator reactions. I'm not sure if they tell us that everyone who was killed, but I'm pretty certain they mentioned some of those that died. In fact, I remember they showed a picture of I think it was an 8-year-old girl or something that had been killed, and that was the following day. Misogynistic and incel-related views. Davidson uploaded videos to YouTube as Professor Waffle. They soon took them down. Okay, this Wikipedia post isn't particularly... Oh, here we go. Rare British shooting. Oh, a 3-year-old. I didn't know he did that. Right, this is the last thing we're going to look at on this, just to see if they name anyone, because I believe they did. Okay. Oh my goodness, all this rubbish. Right. Shooter named by the police. Yeah, see, I'm sure they shared pictures of the people that were shot. Yeah, his 51-year-old mother, Maxine Davidson, he ran outside and immediately shot dead the young girl, named by police as Sophie Martin, in the street, along with her father, Lee Martin, 43. Davidson, see, they just... Oh, here we go. He also shot at Kate Shepherd, 66, get those numbers in, who later died. Right, etc. Now, so there we go. Another example of victims named ridiculously quickly. Maybe not 24 hours, but ridiculously quickly nonetheless. So, if any of you think... Yeah, that's meant to be a tick, by the way, not a... There. Thank you. Oh, I'm messing it up. Right. Okay, on we go. The next thing we will see often in hoax events are amateur walkthrough footage used instead of, well, I specifically said CCTV. This was a reference to the an attack that took place in London. What was it called? Borough Market, that was it. Borough Market. Now, bear in mind, London would be flooded with CCTV cameras. They're everywhere in London, okay? Just like they are in most cities and towns. So, when the mainstream media wish to share wish to share video footage of terror attacks, are they going to use the actual CCTV footage, which fair enough may be difficult to get to, or are they just going to use someone's crappy picture that some random passerby took? I mean, what is this, for example? Amateur footage. You'll always see amateur footage, particularly when we're talking about terror attacks, okay? And this is 4 News. They couldn't wait for the CCTV footage to be released. I mean, what is this? Sorry, I'm gonna do full screen just because I'm curious what actually we're supposed to be seeing here. Amateur footage shows London attackers in Borough Market. Now, bear in mind, anyone could have filmed this rubbish. They even blur out the people's face. How many CCTV cameras would have been in London to pick up these people? But no, we have to rely on whoever uploaded this to Channel 4 News. Oh, look. Moments later, so it didn't take long for an actual camera crew to come out and start filming. The 3 terrorists were shot dead by own police. But when it comes to images of the attackers, the attack left 7 people dead and 48 people injured. How many of those people were named the same day, do you think? Or, well, at least within 24 hours. Yeah, so that's another one. Oh, Phil Wright, greetings and welcome to the live chat. Let's see. Oh, Joanne Moore, 64. Greetings and thanks for joining us. If I missed anyone, I do apologise. Let's see, they're already here. Words contained within Jake Davidson. Kids dies joke videos invokes and jokes. Brilliant, yep. Very good point there already here. Thanks for sharing that. Phil Wright says, did Davidson even exist? I doubt anyone was born with a birth certificate saying Jake Davidson. I doubt it very much. Phil Wright says, like the 22 fake victims named the next day by the media in the arena fraud. Yeah, exactly. The 7 people that died in Borough Market, again, same deal. There was now I've mentioned this years ago during a live stream, in Bath, which is very local to me. I grew up in Bath. There was a road, there was a lorry that lost control coming down a steep hill, and it ploughed into a couple of pedestrians. It was a grandmother and a child, and I think a few people died. And it was actually eerily similar to what happened in Glasgow on, I think it was in Glasgow, like a truck, some truck killed people. And now, being local to me, I can say, and actually knowing someone that lived on the street where the truck ploughed into, in fact, we'll find it. I'm not sure if it would still be Bath lorry crash. I think it was about 2016 it happened. Okay, they have named, yeah, this is it. See, Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to prove myself wrong here. If anything, no, like I say, I don't know who died in this, but what I do know is they did not mention. They did not mention the victims within the same day, and who knows? Who knows what? But yeah, like I say, I know someone whose garden was absolutely trashed in this situation. But they always get their numbers in, don't they? 32-ton truck. But like I say, I can tell you, a van definitely ploughed into people's gardens. And yeah, I mean, I didn't witness any of the carnage myself, but I know people that did. So who knows what they saw themselves? But okay, for some anyway, yeah. So like I said, this isn't. Oh, if you see amateur walkthrough footage used instead of CCTV, it is automatically going to be a fake event. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying it is one of. It is a. It should be a telltale sign. Some of these things will be. For example, ISIS claim responsibility. All the victims named within a day. What else are we going on? We're currently on amateur. Right. Again, this was a very specific thing. When you see civilians doing paramedic jobs, I was specifically referring to London. Well, actually, there was a load of them at the time. London Bridge attack. Oh, can't find server. Why on earth not? I do hope we haven't lost signal. Sorry, bear with me. Worrying. Just check my. Just check the live stream is still going. We haven't lost connections or anything, have we? Chat disconnected. Excellent connection. Who knows? Who knows? Right, my live chat isn't keeping up today. I wish it would. Right, apologies for that short break. What were we about to look at? We're on anytime you see civilians doing paramedics jobs for them. Was it in Barcelona where we saw... Oh, I know another one. Barcelona attack. For example, if we look at images... here we are. For example, I mean, I'm not sure what this is. Van hits pedestrians in deadly Barcelona terror attack. Why is this random person touching up this woman? I mean, he's got his hand on her stomach. What's that all about? What's going on here? If you were... Okay, you got a Okay, that's not quite the same. Here we go. Woman cyclist cheats death at one of London's worst. What do you reckon that is? Terror attack? Is that going to say? A big one. Do you remember the Boston Hoaxathon? Now again, someone apparently PK was exposed as being an actor. PK did a wonderful job exposing the Boston marathon bombing. I mean, I'm not saying I know for sure that PK's legit, but he has, yeah. Anyway, Boston bombing. This is some, yeah. There's a. Where are we? I'll get there in a minute. The carnage. Where is it? I'm sure there's... Sorry, we'll get there. There's a guy who was... Here we go. Why is these random people... Look, you've got perfectly good I assume it's a medically trained paramedic, and they're letting just members of the public push people on stretchers. That for me is a big giveaway. They're trying to invent heroes. They want you to think, oh, well, in times of absolute crisis, it brings out the best in people. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been stuck in a fire alarm where people genuinely think there's a fire. It doesn't bring out the best in people. It brings out panic. It brings out fear. It brings out anger. Yeah, I do want to see the... Yeah, there's some classic footage of the Boston bombing. Here we go. What on earth's happening here? Again, members of the public. Oh, what's this all about? And this is the one. This is the one where supposedly this guy. Yeah, there's again, PK did a lot of amazing videos on this guy. And they pointed out that this bloke supposedly lost his entire leg. I don't want to get too gory because, again, although it's just prosthetics, it's all fake. They will shut it down, saying inappropriate content. But yeah, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that, you know, if ever you see a report on a particular news story, and you see civilians doing paramedics' jobs, then, yeah, it's suspect. At the very least, it is suspect. That's not to say, you know, you won't sometimes see paramedics wearing civilian clothes. But it's just one of the... It should set alarm bells ringing. Right, I'm going to have a look at the live chat. Right. Joanne Moore says, search for Roy Butler, Irish footballer, 23. Okay, is that... We'll certainly have a look at that, Joanne. Thanks for the suggestion. Maria Ellender says, even the CCTV footage is grainy and hardly discernible figures and faces. You're absolutely correct. I think a poor quality video hides a multitude of errors. For example, going back to this Boston Hoaxathon, it's such high quality images. I mean, look at this guy. Are we supposed to believe that he's squeezing this bloke's artery to stop him bleeding to death? Come on, get real. This isn't real life. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Bob Mule brings up the Ellen situation, where, again, that was absolutely ridiculous. Manchester Arena, and a guy, he's clearly doing it because he's been told to. Nick Bickerstaff, actually. Let's look up our friend Nick Bickerstaff, making a fool of himself. Again, I did a video on this one. Here we go. This is seemingly upset. No one else. Oh, UK Critical Thinker, brilliant YouTuber. Yeah, it's interesting. You search Nick Bickerstaff, and people like Rich Planet, UK Critical Thinker are making, you know, these actually come up in the search results. I'm surprised these aren't hidden, although it doesn't take long to go down and find the official narrative. Harrowing torment of dad video. Harrowing footage shot by dad. See, again, this is ridiculous. Shot by dad searching for teen daughter in Manchester Arena moments after bomb blast. So apparently, during the attack, the bomb went off, and what's the first thing this guy does? Does he search frantically for his child? No, he gets a video. He gets his phone out and starts videoing himself. Again, not real life. Not real to life. And by all accounts, of course, the B logo was used frequently during the MEN attack, and we will play this in a minute. Yeah, the B logo was used frequently, and Nick. Apparently, the name Bickerstaff it does actually mean something to do with beekeeping. Right, hang on. Let's watch this video. I can guarantee actually they're going to make us what? Oh, media could not be loaded. The video's either okay, whatever. Never mind. I'm sure we can find I'm sure we can find someone's video where it is working. Okay, perhaps we should put. Yeah, we did slightly go off of the subject of what were we even on? Injured people being. Oh, that was the next one. Sorry. Oh, for goodness sake, this keeps happening. Right, I'm going to have to start shutting down some of my tabs, I think, as I seem to be losing connection. I would just like to confirm that my stream is all working all right. Apparently not. I hope no one's had too much interruption, actually. Here we go. I think we're back. Nope. Sorry, people, we're just having a bit of a meltdown, so hang on. Huh. Alright, we will carry on with this then. It does actually mean. Perhaps I'll have a look at the live chat. I also want to check that everything's working alright on OBS. Yeah, no problems with the signal from what I can see. Right, why isn't that working? Oh, we've got it now, right. Nick Bickerstaff. Right, videos. Again, if you want to hear the guy, this all goes back because someone made the comment, Ellen, Bob Newell. Phil Wright points out bodies everywhere blown to pieces. Here he is. Wow, 12 minutes. Again, this is the video by UK Critical Thinker. It looks like that might be the only place we're actually going to see him yelling out Ellen, because it seems to have been taken down everywhere else. Right, this could be a good time for me to take a maybe a 5-minute interval, okay, if we're all happy with that. It seems like we've got a good few people tuning in and everything. Yeah, I don't want to lose them by taking a 2-minute break. But I will leave you in the very capable hands of the YouTuber UK Critical Thinker. I'll put a link to his channel, to his video in the live chat. I will take a 2-minute. I'm just going to look through the live chat before I do. Andrew Leggett, greetings and welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. Says the Son, Man, Shepherd are all mocking God. The 3 and 33 is a code. 3 equals Lucifer, 33 equals stonemason, and the builders of this realm, the fallen angels. 9/11 is coming, Revelations 9/11. Thanks, Andrew Leggett. Wonderful comment. Joanne Moore says, MSN said he passed from a short illness. Another footballer collapsed on the pitch. Okay, actually, yeah, you asked us to have a look at that. Roy Butler, Irish footballer, 23. We will, as soon as I come back from my... we're not going to watch all 12 minutes of this. It's just going to be, say, about maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Just allow me to fill up my drink. I hope no one has a problem with that. I do want to catch up with the live chat, though, but I don't want to overlook anything too much. CC Jelly, Witness Protection Scheme. I may be coming in halfway through a point here. Phil Wright, always a Johnny on the spot of the camera. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Now, one reason for this recap is that we can add some things to the checklist that needs to go on there. Micho, you say you can hear us. Thanks for that. Right, Maria Ellender, the MP doing CPR on a victim whilst paramedics stand by and watch. Exactly. It's exactly the same as, well, I think we've shut it now, but yeah, as that guy with the hat clutching someone, supposedly squeezing an artery to stop someone bleeding to death. Okay, now, they are already here, points out tourniquets. Bob Mule says Drill's gone live again. Excellent points. Drill's gone live apparently happened during the London 7/7 attacks, and that is admitted by the police. Maria says, and in Plymouth shooting, one of the witnesses was also involved in the Tunisia terror attack. Does that come up? I think that may well be. If not, it should be, because yeah, you're absolutely right. Often you will hear people that have been involved in, multiple attacks or big news stories. Okay, people, I really appreciate you all tuning in and sticking with me. I will be going on for about another half an hour, but I would just like a quick interval. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes. We will be watching a video by the wonderful YouTuber UK Critical Thinker. I will have to play the audio through the speakers, so sorry if the sound doesn't sound too good. But yeah, here is Nick Bickerstaff making an idiot of himself. Bear in mind, this is in an arena where people are leaving a concert. And he wants to push the message that there's been a terror attack.
It's inevitable that we'd have to look at Nick Bickerstaff's version of events, and regardless of the comical video that I'm sure you've seen before, we still have to treat it as a piece of evidence. So quickly, the backstory with this one is that Nick is waiting in the foyer for his daughter and his daughter's friend, and it also suggests that the two younger kids are waiting for them back in the hotel with the mother. There's only a couple of articles that Nick did, and it doesn't really confirm very much as far as the information regarding where he was standing specifically, what time the bomb went off, or anything like that. He just describes that bodies were flying, and that his reasoning behind doing this particular video was that he thought a second bomb might go off, and if anybody was to find his phone, that his family would have known that he was trying to find his daughter at the time. Whilst we can't pinpoint exactly where Nick was in the foyer, he says that he was about 25 feet away from the blast. So again, we've got another person who was fairly close to it, but completely uninjured. Right, so let's get this video out of the way.
Oh my God. Ellen. 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 People are laughing and they don't know what's behind me. People bashed into bits and half their bodies are everywhere. Oh! Ellen! Ellen!
So before we break down Nick's video, here is the map of how the arena looks. So Nick is seen at the doors of 110, 111, and behind him are the doors for 210, 211, which is like an upper tier of the arena. The foyer can be exited through effectively 206, 207, sort of that side. So he's not really that far away. When I've described the concourse in my previous videos, I'm talking about that white ring that is effectively in the middle. That's where you've got your merchandise stalls and other bits and pieces.
Sorry people, my computer's not doing anything.
Stall that I think they're talking about when they were making makeshift stretchers
Mom.
was the one that's in the foyer. Based on the newspapers, they said that the torso of the bomber had landed sort of outside of where it says 207, just in that sort of area there. And whilst we don't really know where Nick is standing, we've got to assume that he must have been near these particular doors, otherwise he would have had to walk over dead bodies in order to get from one side.
Okay, apologies for that. I wasn't able to stop the screen. Right. I do want to share a link to this video in case anyone wants to see the rest of it. Thanks to UK Critical Thinker for filling in during my short break. And thanks to everyone who's hung around and not... Right. I'll just put in the live chat a link to that video. Bear with me, and then we will carry on. Link to UK Critical Thinker Nick Bickerstaff video. Okay, where were we? I'm now going to catch up with the live chat very quickly, and we will carry on with the Hoax Event recap. The next point. Let's see. Where were we? Linda Mack says, funnier than Nick Bickerstaff is Google Gene Rosen, Newtown resident, and Gene Rosen song. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Linda. That's greetings if I haven't already said hello, and welcome you to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, that is a classic. I would recommend anyone watch that. Very creepy person, Gene Rosen. He talks about how he ushered a load of children into his home. Yeah, just a bizarre one. 2N Lit, greetings. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Says Plymouth witness was smirking, etc. Paul Barber, greetings. Thanks for joining us. Open broadsheet.ie, then find the page saying not in vain. Okay, people give me a couple of suggestions to look at. We will do that. Phil Wright, so Martin. Yep, I've covered the Martin Het's parents or step parents, whatever they're supposed to be, multiple times. Someone mentioned tourniquets. I believe I've already covered that. Let's see. KG, greetings. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you, and good to see you all in the live chat. By the way, much appreciate everyone tuning in. Yeah, Micho says they're on to me. Hence the connection problems. It could be. I won't go on too long. I don't want to risk them, taking me down. I have had live streams shut down midstream, but apparently that was because I was showing copyright protected material of a stadium fire. Right, the next point, which is similar to the this could kind of be linked in with civilians doing paramedic jobs. You see injured people just being dragged around the streets for the cameras. If we go to it was nightclub Pulse nightclub shooting. Again, some of these are very specific to certain types of stories. Others are more general. But Pulse nightclub shooting, if we look at the images for this, there was, in fact, we'll go to videos. Although, to be honest, once these videos were shredded, ripped apart, they did take a lot of them down, actually. The one that's worth looking for, he was called Christopher Christopher Hansen, I believe. Here he is. Yeah, this is an example, and I remember back when we were watching it, back seeing it in another event. I think it was Brussels or somewhere.
And joining us now, one of the survivors of the shooting, Christopher Hansen, was getting a drink.
Bear in mind, this guy supposedly helped people that had been shot. He's wearing exactly the same clothes as he's seen, and he hasn't got a drop of blood on him. I mean, that could be another one, lack of blood, but again, it's very general.
He hit the ground and then crawled to help a victim.
Well, that was silly, because they just showed...
And then crawled to help a victim.
There we go, these people just randomly carrying...
You say...
He makes a very strange comment in the middle of this. He keeps going on about not having cable, and he also claims, someone said about earlier, someone made the point about people being involved in more than one event. This guy, in one of his interviews,
and I dropped down so that I can crawl out, because at that time there was a fight or flight and I had to flee.
Yeah, I can't imagine what goes through your mind in that moment when all of a sudden the person next to you is shot. You drop.
See, the person next to him's shot. He hasn't got a drop of blood on him. He looks like he's literally just put that top on, but no, he's had it on all night.
Out, and where I was located, I remember there was an exit shortly by the patio, so I crawled my way.
It might be a different interview that he does.
I got out.
Let's see. Right, just keeping up with the live chat. 2Nlet says the Taliban playing with people running around. It was CGI generated with 2 soundtracks. 2Nlet, you need to skip back, well, at the end of the stream maybe, and watch from the beginning. We did cover that. I played in with a video from a YouTuber called, I want to say Flat Out Truth, but I don't think that's the right channel name. Anyway, we will play it again on the way out. We have covered that, and I totally agree with you. It is CGI, you're right. Joanne Moore says Cringefest, Rich D. Hall's Night of the Bang book is a top read. Excellent, yep. Richard P. Hall, Rich D. Hall, yep, he's covered a lot of these hoaxes, does a very good job of it. CC Jelly says Critical Thinker was careful not to say how absolutely ludicrous it all was. And someone else says that they missed Critical Thinker. I totally agree, he was a great YouTuber. He was very objective. He didn't put his own opinions into it. He tried to stick to the facts, even when they were as blatant as, you know. Yeah, I agree. Maria Ellender says, did I hear Bobby panicking and calling for his mum? I promise you, I wasn't calling for my mum. No, if that's what you're suggesting. I did say hello to the cat, though, as I came back from getting a drink. Yeah, Phil Wright, Manchester on the face of it. Another great video. Random Game says, Bobby, let me know when you have time to talk about the live event on Twitter. Yeah, Random Games, I would certainly like to talk to you about that. You do have my email address. If ever you wanted to share what you're actually having to go through, talk about it on the stream, it's up to you. But yeah, we will, before we finish tonight, you know, we will have a look at the thing, what you commented about on Twitter, because yeah, that was very, very unusual. David, Sandy Hook was a classic. Yeah, absolutely it was. It's also a very quick one to get you your channel shut down as well. DJ Carrera, thank you for joining us. This is the Orlando guy. Yes, you're absolutely right. Christopher Hansen, who supposedly carried bodies away from...
patio. I got up and...
Here we go. Oh, he has got a different top on, sorry.
Zigzag my way out across the street.
And then you saw...
Got the same hat on, eh?
Yes.
Tell me what you did next.
I'd help. There was a...
Apparently these people are walking back towards the Pulse nightclub, which is there. Okay. Let's carry on. So... if ever you come across a news event and you see people being dragged around for the cameras, again, yeah, it's suspect. And here we are. This is a classic one. Again, it doesn't mean automatically that every news story you see with a Just Giving or GoFundMe account connected. But yeah, GoFundMe pages, Just Giving pages set up for the victims and their families. Of course, that was, what was the big one where that was literally every person involved had a GoFundMe set up. We looked at a story earlier about, here we go, unvaccinated mother dies 2 days from getting a citizenship. And they literally promote a Just Giving page where this woman, I mean, some of you commenters pointed out, quite rightly, a funeral, maybe £1,500, possibly 10 grand. If you want a really big, I mean, if you're struggling, then you keep the cost low. But yeah, maybe 10,000 for a funeral. However, these people are raising £40,000 for this family. Someone else I did see mentioned a money laundering. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, Gina Rosenberg, again very close to Janie Rosenberg, Jean Rosen, whatever. A family friend attended the school, has started a GoFundMe, and they even link you to the GoFundMe. Someone I'm constantly going on about is, what's that guy's name? Where he's just lost his daughter, supposedly, and they've got a GoFundMe set up to try and save the kid. All ridiculous. Okay. So we will move on. So yeah, I think that still stands. That's still relevant. Again, it doesn't automatically mean it's a fake event. It just means it's suspicious. I mean, if you get, say, any 3 or 4 things off of this list in one news story, then yeah, be suspicious. Right, the next one. Bereaved loved ones appearing on television looking very happy. We can be talking about no one else except Martin Het. It wasn't just his mum and dad. Obviously, they were well happy about it. It was also his friends. Let's see, Martin Het, friend. Here we go. This guy, I'm not going to play too much of it, but you don't have to watch too long to find this guy. Hear what he says, losing his friend. He cannot keep a straight face. Just to let you know, this was one of the victims of the Manchester MEN Arena.
6 minutes. The stage is set for headliner Ariana Grande as she returns to the city.
Yeah, they've just got to promote this concert that they want to talk about. Ariana Grande. Again, massive publicity.
Last week's terror attack. Musicians including Justin Bieber, Katy Perry and Pharrell Williams are to join.
This was the 1st of June. It was about barely 2 weeks after the actual event. And anyway,
Pop star, with all proceeds going to the victims and their families.
All proceeds. Well, that sounds great, doesn't it? They're doing a concert in Manchester. All the proceeds are going to the victims and their families. What if there were no real victims? What then? Where are all the proceeds going?
2 people died in the Manchester Arena attack last week, including 29-year-old Martin Het, who was at the concert with a group of friends. Now, one of those friends was James Ockerby, and he joins me now in the studio. James.
So bear in mind, this guy was at the concert with Martin Het. He would have seen his friend killed. He must be devastated. He must be absolutely traumatised. Let's have a look at him.
Thank you for joining us today.
Look at that smile. He cannot even look sad for this video. He cannot even look down.
Appreciate your time. I also appreciate everything is really still quite raw for those that have learned of their loss.
Yeah, really raw.
What do you remember about that night?
I mean, I'd left early to get out, to get a drink. We'd gone the right way, basically. So we came down the exit of the main arena, where it's straight outside, not into the foyer where it actually happened. soon as we got to the bottom of the steps, like, it had gone off. Everyone stopped still. No one knew what to do. There was just big bang, and it was so surreal. Like, you knew it was something serious, but you were trying to tell yourself, like, it's fine.
At this point, he can keep a straight face, but when he gets to talking about his friendship with Martin, he can't hold it in.
And then everyone got told to run, so we just ran away. Like, there was little kids. Like, it was just not nice to be around. It was such an awful atmosphere. I got to the town hall, got messages from our friends, like, we're all meeting on Canal Street, I'll get to a safe place. Met all of our friends, like, we was all checking Twitter, making sure everyone was all right. The only person we knew that hadn't tweeted, who would be the first person to tweet, would be Martin. And straight away from there, you know, this is not real, something's weird.
Oh, what did he say? This is not real, something's weird. Yeah, you got it, mate. In fact, I think we'll just hear that again.
Sure everyone was all right. The only person we knew that hadn't tweeted, who would be the first person to tweet, would be Martin. And straight away from there, you know, this is not real, something's weird.
This is not real, something's weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, I've got to mention him. I know I talk about him a lot, but what's his name? Ashley Kane. Again, this guy supposedly at the funeral of his child. Look, these people have supposedly visited their sick child and always got massive smiles on their face. Again, this sums up a lot of it. Gets ridiculously over-the-top coverage in the press. They've got a GoFundMe for a child that supposedly already died, and they're still raising money. Still going, you can still donate to it. Help save Azalea's life. Apparently Azalea, which I believe isn't a real child at all, it's a doll. Anyway, let's look at... this is... How long can this guy go without laughing at the funeral? Where was it? Yeah, here we go. I'm not going to play it too long. I mean, you don't need to play it too long. How long till he starts laughing, okay? This is him talking. I don't know if it's the actual funeral, but at the tribute to his daughter. How long till a big smile comes on his face? How long? There we go. There we go. I mean, I'm not sure if you caught that. Very short one. But he cannot stop himself laughing. And according to the write-up, this week leading up to Azalea's Day was comprised of sadness, fear and anxiety. I was sad because my baby had passed. I was scared because it was our final goodbye. And I was anxious because I wanted to make sure I had the strength. And yet, he's got a massive smile all over his face. Look at it. One of the biggest frauds going at the moment. I mean, they're all equally vile, but for some reason this one really makes me ill. See? Big smile. Big smiles all
always
around.
thought I was a bit of a celebrity.
What a clown. I can't watch this idiot for more than 2 minutes. But anyway, clown. Look, you can... And I made the point that you need to take down your GoFundMe page because you can't misappropriate the funds. And people said, "Oh, he's probably really down. You give him a break. I'm sure they're going to do the right thing." Nope. Couple of months on, they still got GoFraud up. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked with that. I will look at the live chat. DJ Carrera, shoes there too on the floor. I just saw that one. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, there's always shoes. I not actually included that in this list, but it is one that could definitely go. DJ Carrera, oh hi, this is the Orlando guy. Really? Excellent. Too Unlit, Wayne Carver is the funniest actor on the Sandy Hook. Yes, agreed. Again, what a name for was it a mortician or someone that deals with the dead bodies? Okay. DJ Carrera says, most hoax expose videos just point out BS in the news. Gotcha. CC Jelly, They were probably all in the toilet cubicles as a matter of course. I guess that's a reference to Pulse. But yeah, you're absolutely, yes. I saw that. I know what you're saying, my friends. Let's see. DJ Carrera, Joe Cox. Yes, her fellow was working for Save the Children and was a sexual deviant. Wow. Joe Cox was download? Maybe. Two Inlet says the best Joe Cox video was the Lion Lead Beaters. Okay. Thanks for the suggestions on some of these. Maria Ellen, that dopey sister just won her sister's position in Parliament. Two and lit. CC Jelly says nobody dies in these hoaxes. Yeah, I agree. Phil Wright makes a reference to the parents, saying how saying how happy Martin Hett's parents are that their son made it. You know, it meant he died, but right. Anyway, again, this is very specific to stories that were around back in 2017. People going missing who should really be accounted for. Maybe this isn't so relevant anymore, actually. But if we go back to again, I believe it was the Borough Market. I can't. I mean, maybe this is one that could be updated. Attack victims. And I'll show you what I was specifically referencing at the time. Who were the victims? One of them was like a HSBC bank executive. And he apparently... Yeah, that's a photoshopped face, if ever there was one, by the way. Kirsty... But this guy... Ignacio Echevarria, Mireles de Imperial. Again, terrible picture quality. Ignacio ran towards the attackers and tried to beat them off with his skateboard. Yeah, get real. Like that really happened, you know? Let me just zoom in a minute. Apparently Ignacio... But for a long time they were saying that he was missing, and... which is weird, because all the CCTV... On the night he died, he postponed a visit to his sisters. Get this, okay, a 39-year-old, slightly overweight because they mentioned his weight, HSBC bank executive. What do you think he was doing on a Saturday night? He was out skateboarding. Yeah, of course he was. He was skateboarding on the South Bank, as if. Come on, get real. But anyway, this guy was missing. So recap back to 2017. I'm not sure how relevant this one is. Okay, the final thing on our list. Anyone who thinks we're missing stuff from this list, it is a good time to mention it. Right, strange use of numbers. Oh, my cat's... I tell you, my cat's getting impatient because she wants her supper, so I'm going to have to end very shortly. I've been going for 2 hours, so another 10 minutes or so I will wind down. Right, so strange use of numbers, particularly dual numbers, 11, 22, 33, also 213, 223, 911, 96, 666. I do not know all the numbers, but there are particular ones come up a lot. 22 comes up ridiculously often, as does 33, and things like 911 also comes up a lot. I mean, if I scan down here, I'm sure... you could even say the 39. Upside down, put the 9 the other way around and you got 36. I'm sure it wouldn't take long to find a dual number in this... 32, again, that is actually one of the numbers I mentioned. 11, 22, 33, 213, 223. Okay, not quite, but it's a variation of it. 32, reverse it, you got 23. Is it just coincidence? 26 again, 2 sixes, 66. And another thing, now this is something that never got included on the list. Someone else mentioned trainers, like shoes always being like, again, let's look for, what was the one they did on the bridge? London Bridge attack. And they always put in the images, for whatever reason, like trainers just discarded on the floor. I'm not sure what we'll see here. There we go. Just a random trainer on the floor. I know it's supposed to belong to him, but why would his trainer have come off? But I remember there was one in Barcelona, actually. We'll have a look for that one. And also, yeah, another thing they use, you'll often see they'll use people from as many different countries as they can, and that is just to get some interest going. Again, bottles of water are another popular thing. Any trainers in this one? Maybe missing trainers aren't as common, but you can certainly always find them. Bottles of water, there you go, just at the side of the screen. We've seen that picture. Here we go, paramedic, as we said earlier, civilians doing paramedic jobs, look. And meanwhile, you've got people who I guess are medically trained in their fluorescent jackets, just sitting back and letting the paramedics get on with it. That's because it's good for the cameras. I do want to find some trainers though. Some shoes that have been randomly chucked around. Let's see. Okay, not so much at the moment. I mean, I'm scrolling through them quite quickly, so perhaps, well, again, Boston, that would have been one for trainers, I'm thinking. So yeah, as I know, you guys have been offering suggestions all evening. If there's anything you particularly think needs to be mentioned, here we've got a woman randomly lost her shoe. And I remember Boston, everyone had ripped trousers. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people had very ripped trousers. Right, okay. I'm a little behind on the comments, so my apologies if I've overlooked anyone's. There was... DJ Carrera says, yeah, numbers all over 44 for Hoax, yeah. Also, dates come up quite a lot. For example, yeah, I couldn't actually find many trainers. Any images of trainers, but I think it is something relevant. You will see often, some people say it's almost symbolic of the fairy tale of Cinderella losing her shoe, losing the glass slipper. And yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Right. Nice attack. DJ Carrera mentioned. Nice truck attack France was amazing, says David. CC Jelly says Facebook overlays, strong hashtag. Yep, you're absolutely right. Anytime public buildings like the Eiffel Tower get lit up. Again, going back to my favourite fraud, he isn't my favourite fraud, can't stand the guy, but going back to Ashley Kane, he has all the hallmarks. If I put up monuments, okay, yeah, Ashley Kane, this is another thing that they do a lot. And it kind of fits in with the strong, I don't know, Boston strong, Pulse strong. Unfortunately, my computer is starting to lag now. I certainly will have to end things soon. But massive thanks to everyone who has tuned in and stuck with me. The numbers are up a bit today. It's always good to see more people tuned in than usual. Yeah, right, now we're starting to... Yeah, like this, for example. They lit up the Blackpool Tower along with other monuments around the world. Tributes pour into Ashley Kane's daughter Azalea as she battles a rare form of leukemia. Her story has touched the country. Among those lit in orange in recognition of the little girl were Blackpool Tower, Niagara Falls, and CN Tower in Canada. So yeah, lighting up objects. Did we not recently see a lot of monuments lit up the colours of the rainbow? Something to do with thanking the NHS? I don't know. It's difficult to get away from, that is for sure. Right, someone suggested looking up a footballer. It was Joanne. I'm trying to go back and find the name of it, actually. So bear with me. Also, some people suggested Joe Cox. I shan't be long. Right. Yeah, anyone remembers the footballer? They want the name of the footballer? I think an Irish one. That would be appreciated. I am just scrolling through. Roy Butler, Irish footballer. Bear with me. We'll have a look at this story. Roy Butler. Ex-Watford defender Roy Butler, described as a special kid. What does that mean? Waterford, sorry. Okay. Does this have any of the hallmarks then? Is that what we're going to look at, based on what we've just been looking at? Tributes have been paid to former Waterford United captain Roy Butler after he passed away at the age of just 23. Short illness, there's your number. Game doesn't mean automatically that it's hoax. The football community in the county has been united in its grief for Butler, who was a graduate of a local side, Villas FC. Let's see, any more numbers? It was during the 2016 campaign that Butler was handed the captain's armband. As well as numerous local sides in the county, tributes were led by Waterford FC, who released a statement on Twitter. Okay. Now, it does seem that this story was covered heavily by a lot of the press. But the only thing I particularly see is the age of 23. And it's received a lot of coverage, to be fair. I mean, MSN Sport, for example, are covering it. So yeah, okay, perhaps this is a bit David, the IRA were real terrorists. While that may be true, I do believe the IRA were infiltrated. Let's say what we hear about the IRA was legitimate. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I do believe they were infiltrated by the British, so who knows? Joanne Moore says he died of string. Off topic. What? Okay, passing is always a term used, passing into a new life. Yep, good point, CC Jelly. Is that the illness that he died of, is it? Paul Barber put up true link here. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Joanne Moore. Actually, Joanne, I will give you a wrench if you wish to share any links. And anyone else that wants to share a link, just let me know and I'll give you a wrench. Maria Ellender says, Hugo Talks has done a great video on this and the family blame Maxine. Sorry, I'll have to go back and read your earlier comment, I think. MI5 job vacancies recruit these actors and they visit prisons to recruit certain types of ethnic groups. Fair enough. DJ Carrera, London mannequin in wheelchair. Yeah, the London Bridge was full of mannequins, actually. That was one of my early videos, inspecting the footage. It is still up there. Yeah, I believe everybody on the London Bridge was a mannequin. I am going to start winding down in a minute. So, yeah, I did say, I'm not sure if Random Games is still with us. We were going to look at something. Thanks for sharing the link, Joanne. We will have a quick look at that before we finish. My apologies if there was anything else we were going to look at. Please, by all means, send a link. Give us a reminder in the live chat before I finish. If there was anything you suggested I should look at, and I did, and I didn't. Let's see. We'll check out that one. What is going on with this? Live chat. Right, Maria and the family blame the Maxine. Gotcha. Now I'm following you. Maria. Sorry, it's got a bit late. I've been going on for a couple of hours, and I do start slowing down at this time now. This is when it tells me it's probably best that I call it a night. I will certainly be back next week, and we are going to look at the link from Joanne. I will ask, is this... okay, my 23-year-old nephew is fighting for his life at the minute. Got the poison Friday. Pray for him. Yeah, we were looking at this story earlier, and someone in the comments put this very comment. No story on this guy then, Mail Online. A 27-year-old man from Stowmarket who made everyone happy and was always smiling has tragically died just 3 weeks after having the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and his devastated family are seeking answers. I'm guessing that isn't the same person. Vera McDonald. Is this a 27-year-old, do you know? Oh, this is the footballer from Ireland. Right, I might be getting a bit confused there, but until he entered the doctors on Friday in the prime of his life, 100% healthy, to get poison that is Jensen injection, thinking he could go to Dubai with all the lads in September, then went downhill quick with a bleed on his brain, leaving him dying within days of Monday. He will not die in vain. The devastation this has had on his parents, Martin, Angela. Just to check, is this the Irish footballer that you were referring to? Yeah, Roy Butler. My apologies. I thought we were looking for... I thought you were suggesting it was a hoax, but... Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. They do not cover these types of stories, do they? I'm not sure what broadsheet.ie is, but I see. Thanks for sharing this, Joanne. It's interesting how if you happen to die within, I think, a month of having a positive BS19 test, not that I would ever have take a test, but then it's automatically a BS19 death. However, you could die the same day or like within days of taking the poison, the Maxine. I like that name. Thanks for sharing that, Maria. And they don't actually even link it. I mean, they say, oh, it could be, but maybe not. Right, I'll try and zoom in a little bit here. Oh, wrong button. Right, his family say, we are so mad that it had to be him to be the one that is to open people's eyes to what is going on. All these injections are under a headline, trials. Please think before you put them into your bodies or your kids. If this post saves one other person from the same fate, please share this post before they take it down. People need to know what has happened. There's more people dying from the injection than the virus. Roy was only a baby. He had his whole life ahead of him. Would you believe it's not letting some people share it because the V word was in it? I had to change it to injections. Yeah, I very much believe that. They're automatically silencing anything that puts any kind of puts the injections in a bad light. It's disgusting. The people of Waterford, Ireland, are devastated to learn that a local hero, Roy Butler, died on Monday. Isn't it interesting, though, how when you go to the story here, they make no reference whatsoever to him having had the injection. They say it was a short illness. Roy's passion saw him give back to his club as a player. See, so, yeah, here we go. Tributes have been paid to former Waterford United captain Roy Butler after he passed away from a short illness. Yeah, that short illness being that he died within days from a bleeding on the brain. That's a tragic thing to close out with. And let's see, the Stonemarket CC Jelly says the Stonemarket man died days after. Oh, who died after the jab was made everyone happy and always smiling as usual. CC Jelly, I think what the commenter is saying is, why aren't you covering this story? Well, you know, why are you looking at this woman who died? Supposedly, an important point was that she didn't have the jab, but these people that have died with it, you're not even covering. But I know what you're saying. DJ Carrera, Australian kid, died. I hate to hear of anyone dying. David says, any life lost with BS is one too many. Of course it is. And Carrera points out people die of the flu. Yes, they do. Okay, right. I am going to extend a huge thanks to DJ Carrera, David, CC Jelly, Joanne Moore, Bob Mule, Michelle from Oz, David, I don't know if I've mentioned you twice, Phil Wright, Maria Ellender, who else? Have I said Bob Mule, maybe? Who else? Okay, we'll be going back for a while. I know Random Games, thanks to you. Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, thank you for joining in. Anyone else I haven't mentioned? Let's see. I am scrolling through the text. 2N thanks for joining. Yep, Random Games, I've already mentioned yourself. Okay, I think that is everyone. Oh, they're already here. Paul Barber as well. There was a couple of names that popped up. Linda Mack as well, thanks for joining us. A couple of names that have left comments. I do try and say thank you to everyone. KG is another one. I don't normally get as many people commenting as I did tonight, but that's good to see. Andrew Lidgett as well. Thanks for your comments. I believe that is everyone. Actually, let's see. Yeah. Phil Wright as well, if I haven't mentioned you, and Susan Byrne. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, and so yeah, big thanks to everyone. I was just going to read a thing from, where is it? Michelle from us says, lovely sunny day here and I'll be allowed out for an hour's exercise later. Michelle, tell him to get stuffed. You'd take as long as you want out there. That is my advice. I mean, who knows what it's like in your part of the world, but yeah, do not listen to government advice. It is a waste. DJ Carrera says, Vax is Delta. I would not doubt that. Joanne Moore says, papers all said short illness. Yeah, absolutely. Which, yeah, as according to the family, is far from, where was it? It's far from right. Ireland to cease deliveries of AZ Jensen. Interesting. And, yeah, Random Games. I'm not sure if you're still with us. I think what you mentioned, what you were talking to me about on Twitter, does need to be discussed. I will be back next week. I would be interested to have a chat with you a bit more about it. I'm going to have to wind down now as it is nearly midnight. So, honestly, everyone, thanks. Have a good week. I might be back with a video midweek. But I'll certainly be back next week with... Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Right, I'll be back next week. Oh, my computer's being silly, right? Bear with me, people. I'm going to have to do it all manually. Sorry, guys. I won't be a sec. Right, I am basically winding down, but... What does that one do? Okay. Now. Yeah, thanks to everyone who helped with the recap of the Hoax Event checklist. It does probably need to be rewritten, which we will do, because not many people are going to want to watch a 2.5 video to check out the list. So, yeah, I think I will play out with the video I played in with. And I will include a link to the original video. Yeah, huge thanks to everyone for joining in this evening. It's always great to interact with you guys. Joanne says, killing dogs now in Oz. Ugh. CC Jelly, Gove tried that 1 hour nonsense in the UK and the idiots obeyed. CC, you're right, a lot of them did. I certainly did not. David, going on the whiskey and coke, Bobby. You're always informative. Thanks, David. It's always great to hear from all of you. And Michelle predicts an alien invasion coming here soon. I tell you what I'd predict before that will be ISIS claiming responsibility, alright? Look out for that in the coming week. We'll see. Yeah. I look forward to catch up with you next Sunday if you're able to tune in. I'll try and get some videos up in the week. Thanks everyone, always much appreciated. Have a great weekend, and I'm going to end it there. Over, over and out. Good night.